lot of people have questioned about how we came up with the name Nexus Park. And as you know, Nexus means critical connection. As we talk about Nexus Park and the fact that it's a community space for health, wellness, and recreation, it's really going to be a connection point for our residents and our neighbors and a lot of people throughout the region.
The future of the mall was at that point very much in doubt. And so it began to make us wonder, what we ought to be able to do to try to help that section of the city, and if there was anything we could do to sort of help the property. The more we talked about it, there was an opportunity that came to us. Well, maybe there's something here for the city. We had some communication with the folks out at CRH, Columbus Regional Health, that they had some interest in taking a look at Fair Oaks Mall. At the same time, we've got a variety of conversations going on with what's called the Sports Commission here in town that was taking a look at the sports tourism business that we have here. That all sort of pointed towards a need for a facility. We came up with the idea to go pursue Fair Oaks Mall, make it Nexus Park. You can't do a project this size without several partners. And so we turned to the Heritage Fund as an additional funding source, and they really put us over the top. Had it not been for them and their willingness to participate in this, I don't think we'd have been able to get the deal done.
So we had multiple discussions with the owners and really were interested in seeing what was going to happen at the old property. 35 acres in a very critical and important area of the city that hadn't seen development in a number of years.
What we really wanted to do was to gather from the community what community members saw as the future of this facility.
We had almost 3,000 people respond to a survey that we did. We talked with over 50 different stakeholders, including schools and sports organizations and churches and businesses, to see what would fit here. We also had 4 public sessions, and we had well over 600 people attend those.
It was pretty clear to us early on that the community as a whole sort of saw what the opportunity was here and bought in quickly to what we were trying to do.
What came out loud and clear in our public sessions is that it's important for any community to have a facility where they can come and hang out together. When they were stuck at home and when they weren't able to, they had to work remotely, they really missed that sense of community. And so that's what Nexus Park is going to help us provide. We're going to be able to do at Nexus Park is offer even increased amenities as well as a lot more programming specifically geared around children, youth, and seniors.
They came to us with some ideas that we hadn't had before, particularly with respect to pickleball. I'm excited about the notion of being able to do that indoors, again, 12 months out of the year.
The field house at Nexus Park, it's going to be very grand. It's 150,000 square feet of indoor facility. The size, you can have an entire soccer field and a half. It's quite large, but we can also put in 3 softball fields. We can put 3 baseball fields in. We've got layouts for football, from lacrosse, but it's so much more than athletics, sports. It's also, this is going to be an event center for the community, working with the visitor center for trade shows, graduations for our local community colleges, high schools, sports tourism, and events tourism. So it's going to be a huge community asset. It's going to be a game changer, transformational project for this community.
We're going to be able to offer amenities that came out loud and clear when we had the public sessions. One of them will be around a teaching kitchen, which we know has been very successful in the community. We'll also be offering child watch programming, which is something that in all of our benchmarking we found how important it is that parents and grandparents and people using the fitness center and people coming to the sport events have a place where for a small period of time they can make sure that their child is in a safe place and they can go do what they need to do.
Nexus Park will offer a people trail, a trail for the community to use. When we went through the surveying, one of the top things was the community wanted indoor walking.
We're going to be able to keep the internal walking trail that people love in the community. It's about a half a mile long. In fact, when we're completed, we'll actually have a longer walking trail, so that will stay. There are 5 different elements of the Nexus Park project. So I'm starting from the west side of the property, where Columbus Regional Health will be located. They are creating a physician hub, as well as focusing on the wellness aspects of health. Along with physician offices, their space will include laboratory services, occupational and physical therapy, a warm water therapy pool, VIM care, and healthy communities. We're really excited about the Parks and Rec space, and that's in the center of the property if you were coming in the old JCPenney site. To your left will be a large fitness area, and to your right we'll have several conference spaces as well as the park administrative offices. We'll also have several multi-purpose spaces for large activity for youth and seniors, and then we'll also have that child watch area where residents and users of the facility will be able to bring their children for a temporary time. On the east side of the Parks and Recreation space, we'll have community partners, more multi-purpose space, and we'll also have our teaching kitchen. As we move north toward the field house, you'll see that we've got other community partner spaces for future vendors such as batting cages and the esports and other tenants that will be compatible to sports. We've also added an 8,000 square foot area where sports teams will congregate prior to their games. If you go east down the main corridor, you will get to the areas that we've identified for future tenants. These will be food and beverage and personal services that will support the users of the property. On the far east side, we have Dunham Sports. On the north side of the property, where the old Goodies store currently sits, we will be demolishing that later this summer, and we'll be constructing our 150,000 square foot field house. We realize the exterior part of the campus is just as important as the interior, so we'll be adding a 3-acre park on the south side, directly in front of the old Penny space. We'll also be adding to our People Trail system by looping around the entire property with new People Trail walking paths. NexusPark is a transformational project, and it's very ambitious, and we understand that. And so having amenities such as NexusPark is going to be really critical for going forward as we try to find talent, and we bring them here and we want them to stay here. We also know that we're a community that focuses on families, and so a lot of what we will be doing here will provide amenities for families.
Our staff is wonderful. They want to be able to provide more stuff, the fitness classes, the recreation space, so many things we can do for our locals, from youth programming, families, adults, senior adults, to the quality of life, health, wellness, as well as the economic driver with our sports tourism and events tourism.
You know, one of the things we've noticed in the last few years when it comes to trying to grow your economy and attract businesses to the community is a little bit more of an emphasis on the quality of the community. Really important to have an available or a plentiful labor force. And those things aren't quite as important today as they were 30 years ago. They're still important. You can't ignore those. But it's important for us to be able to provide a community that is growing, a community where there is an active involvement among the people who live there and the businesses that already exist. And I think it's important to be able to show that we, the community, the taxpayers, are willing to invest alongside those companies that we want to attract here. You know, Columbus is a great place. So if we expect the new companies to believe that, well, we ought to believe it ourselves.
What stirs me about Nexus is that I'm going to be able to be with my Columbus family when I walk in here, and to be able to see children and youth and seniors and athletes to come together in a community space that everybody feels welcome in, I think is going to be just an amazing piece, and I'm just excited to be part of it.
I'm hopeful that the community would come to us and say that they can't get enough.
Again, NexusPark is going to be a catalyst for the development in our community. You can stay up to date on NexusPark project by going to our website, nexuspark.org. You can also go to our Facebook at NexusPark.
You'll be able to check our construction progress. So nexuspark.org or find us on Facebook.